Boxing King Media in association with Boxstro, Adam Smith. It's a bit of a come down from what happened last week. No, you tell me what's the Scottish public like and what kind of reception are you expecting Saturday night?
I don't think it's a come down. I mean, last week was a special night, a special week, a special build-up, because we've been waiting for something for so long, and it delivered. So it was, and obviously a box office event, and the teams are working overtime, and it's a lot of shoulder programming. So yeah, a huge amount went into it. But this is a massive event, and I think we've shown in February with Eubank Williams, with BROOK, and now with, arguably the best fight, certainly at levels. I mean, this is the undisputed world, title, and Josh has got all the treasure, including the Ring Magazine belt. And Jack Catterall's an undefeated challenger and a mandatory challenger. So in terms of boxing levels, this is the best. We've saved the best till last. So although we don't maybe have the hoo-ha, the fanfare like we did in Manchester, I think that's because we're going to have thousands and thousands of Josh Taylor fans packing into the Hydro on Saturday night, creating one of the great atmospheres I think we'll see in and around the British arena this year. We are itching to have another big fight night in Scotland. It's been too long, and they are ready to welcome their hero home. But the hero's got a tough fight against a very quiet, unassuming boxer who has done everything right and everything that's asked of him, and now has the opportunity to try and prove he can compete at the level that Josh has risen to. So I think it's a big night, and I think it's been a great month for us on Sky. I'm looking forward to Saturday immensely.
Well, when I said come down, I meant more with regards to the crowd and the atmosphere, the electricity in the arena, because I know you love the electricity when the crowd's buzzing behind the man. Can we expect a similar sort of thing? Because I've never been to a Scottish fight night before.
I think it might, it might move up a couple of notches from Cardiff and Manchester, of which were both very, very frenetic atmosphere, great crowds. But I think this one, I mean, yeah, we've been coming here since Gary Jacobs was top of the tree in the mid-90s, and then we had wonderful nights with Scott Harrison, and Alex Arthur followed pretty much his whole career. Ricky Burns, of course, 3-weight champion for Scotland and the world. And yeah, look, I've watched Josh since he was a kid, since he was a teenager, and always been a big admirer. We haven't had him on Sky as much as I'd have liked, but now we have the opportunity through the Top Rank relationship to work with him, and it's really exciting. So if you can get through Saturday night, and as I said, it's a serious fight, it's a big if, but if he can perform in the way he has been, then I think he can become an absolute superstar. So I think you're in for a treat on Saturday. That Hydro is a wonderful arena, and it's about time that we brought big time boxing back to Scotland, and Josh Taylor's the man who does it. Ironically, Gary Jacobs, who I was saying about earlier, fantastic fighter himself, is now saying Josh Taylor's the best fighter Scotland has ever produced. And Ken Buchanan might argue, our own Jim Watt, who I worked with for many years. We've had some fantastic fighters Scotland over the years, but Josh Taylor is now one of the best in the world at any weight globally. And if he goes on to become a 2-weight champion, that's his aim. And maybe takes on the likes of a Crawford or Spence, and maybe he can go down and in the history books forever. And I'm sure he already is, but he can just extend that legacy. I think he's that good. But then again, I think we don't know how good Jack Catterall is, and people behind the scenes are telling me this is a guy that sparred Mayweather, this is a guy that sparred Canelo. He hasn't had the opportunities maybe that Josh has had in the professional ranks, but he's got more wins on his record, and he's got the chance of his lifetime. So he'll hopefully be giving it absolutely everything to try and take those belts back to Chorley.
How difficult is it for yourself, because you're in the Josh Taylor business, obviously signed up to Sky Sports Boxer, obviously you've got to present the whole show as a neutral, I suppose. So how difficult is it for you to obviously to do your role, to obviously introduce both guys, but ultimately you've got plans for Josh, you want to get his name out there and give him the recognition he obviously deserves?
Well, we're always neutral when we're broadcasting. When we pick up the mic, it's the better man or the better woman wins, and we just call what's in front of us. But obviously Josh Taylor is a massive signing for us through Top Rank. It's great that he's got the Sky Sports platform. And it reminds me a little bit of when Carl Froch returned to Sky. We had Carl in the early days, and then he went round the world and, the World Super Series and got those fantastic wins against, the likes of everybody, really, wasn't it? And I think the Arthur Abraham fight, the last one, the one in Helsinki, was the one that said, we have to try and get Carl to Sky. He came over, he finished the Super Series on Sky Sports, he had the big Butte fight on Sky Sports, and he got the platform then, and that sort of rolled into his big box office nights at the end of his career. And I think Josh, we could do a similar thing with. So we'll be working closely with our partners, Todd DeBurf at Top Rank, and of course our UK partners, Boxer too, because they're all putting on the show, and it's great that everybody's working together, and we'll be working very hard, certainly on that side of things, on the building side of things, on making Josh, he's so well known in the trade, but making him into that superstar within the sporting world that we believe he is. However, all these things and all the belts go up in the air on Saturday night, and until he defeats Jack Catterall, those plans are on hold. So let's see what happens Saturday, and we'll pick that up on Sunday and Monday. But yeah, I'm enjoying working with Josh. It's been a long time coming.
And just a quick wrap up on, obviously Sky, it's a numbers business. Obviously the Eubank fight smashed records for Freeview on Sky Sports. The Amir Khan Kell Brook fight, we talked about it before the fight, what kind of numbers it would expect. We've had a week. I'm guessing you know the number. Are you able to give us an indication as to where it ranked with the previous pay-per-views you've had?
I don't know the number. The numbers take a long time to come in, many weeks. Actually, the different ways you can book the event, but it's done well. We're pleased with it, and it was a very good night for everybody. I think what I loved about it was that we got a culmination of a story. Everybody had waited for the fight for so long. Ben managed to make it, and the night itself was, dramatic, and even to the gloves in the ring, and there were stories all the way through, and Tasha Jonas winning a world title, and then we get a really, really engaging fight. Yes, Kell was brilliant, and he rolled back the years, but Amir too was courageous to the end and went out on his shield. And what I loved is the post-fight press conference. I think that will long live in the memory for all of us at Sky who've followed Amir and Kell and their great careers. They've been brilliant for British boxing, but to have them actually sort of burying the hatchet and feeling that they shared that respect and the spirit in the ring, to be talking and sort of hugging each other afterwards was something that will live with me forever. It shows how brilliant boxing can be, even when two guys who've just had so much hatred for each other for so long, that when they actually perform together, and remember it's our entertainment, but it's their livelihoods they're putting on the line. And I thought that they both turned up in terrific shape. Yes, Amir didn't have it anymore, but he showed everything, the heart and the pride. And Kell was brilliant with his timing and his shot selection. I thought he stalked the ring fantastically, and I thought Victor Loughlin's intervention was the perfect time. So in many ways, it was the perfect ending to what's been a story that's fascinated us for a long, long time. And hopefully they can move on with their lives. And if Amir decides to call it a day, and that's up to him and his family to decide, then he goes with our best wishes, and thank you for a thrilling career. Absolutely loved being part of broadcasting that. And as far as Kell, it's a difficult decision for Kell. It'd be great for him to go out on top, and there's no win that's going to mean more to him than that. But of course there's Conor Benn, there's Chris Eubank Jr., there's maybe other world titles there for him. He's 35, but he looked pretty good, didn't he? So he's got a tough decision to make. I'm sure he's enjoying his win, and I hope Amir's resting up. And they gave us a firecracker, and we thank them for it.
It was a nice ending to it. But I can't let you off. I just got to ask you, the numbers, would it be a top 10 or top 5 pay-per-view for Sky?
We wouldn't go there anyway, but it's not. I mean, Anthony Joshua, his numbers and the sort of Floyd Mayweather numbers, are very, very high. So, but we're pleased with what it's done. It's vindicated the fact that we believed in this fight. We always believed in this fight. Deep down, we all felt that they would train incredibly hard because of the pride on the line. And yes, should it have happened 5-6 years ago when they're at their very peaks? Of course. I remember Eddie's come out and said that what a fight it would have been if it had been then. And yeah, obviously for Amir, who'd been out the ring for 3 years, it was a tougher night for him. But I'm just glad that we got a really engaging spectacle, an honest fight. great ending and real respect afterwards. So but from a business point of view, we're pleased, but more importantly, we're pleased with what we're delivering in this mammoth February. You know, 2 huge fights for Sky Sports in Eubank Williams, and this one in Taylor Catterall, and a Sky Sports box office event in the middle with some stardust. You know, we're really happy, and it's been a very, very good first few months with Ben Shalom and Boxer, and with Top Rank, and we're in a good place. I think Eddie's gone to DAZN, and he's putting on some big shows there, and so is Frank on BT. But I think our Sky customers are certainly enjoying this month, and we'll have many more months to come, and some really, really engaging fights and some big announcements soon too.
And ultimately, I want to congratulate you on last week. It was a brilliant event. There weren't really any crowd trouble. It all went smoothly, and obviously lived up to expectations. So well done to you guys at Sky.
Yeah, thanks very much. I mean, we're always looking at things that maybe went wrong or weren't quite as good as we hoped for, and we look to improve each and every time. But the key is that the customers hopefully got a great night. Everybody I've spoken to who's not a boxing fan just really enjoyed the whole sort of event and the spectacle. I thought for Boxer's first pay-per-view event, their first box office partnership with us, they did ever so well. I thought Ben spoke really well last week, and I'm really looking forward to many more big nights with them, and also the trade nights and the grassroots nights. We've got some of those coming up too. There's a mixture, and that's what Boxer are bringing. They're bringing what the fans want. They're bringing the fights and the fighters, and we're building a nice little stable. We don't have everybody, we're not saying that. It's huge competition out there. In Matchroom we've got a fantastic stable, so is Frank at Queensbury, and we're building blocks, but we're pleased with what we've done so far.
Keep it up, thank you very much.
Thank you.